Hello everybody, it's Mike Paterson from White Turtle Adventures here in southern Alberta, Canada. Welcome back to the van. So last time I talked about why I chose the van I did. This time I thought I would go a bit more in depth as to why I chose the van and the features that it has and what do I like and don't like about it. So to recap, it's a 2017 Ford Transit with a medium roof, 148-inch wheelbase. It has the EcoBoost engine as well as a limited slip differential. Everything about it I generally like. I don't think the EcoBoost engine's getting me a ton more miles per gallon than what I would in a normal vehicle. But if I can get an extra mile to the gallon here or there, I'm not going to argue about it. I do like the power that it has. Several times the engine has gotten me out of a couple situations where I had to pass somebody on the highway and there was wind and such. And with the extra power that the engine has, it worked fine. Everything that came with the van I'm happy with. It has the heated seat as well as the adjustable driver's seat. The passenger seat is not heated, nor is it the electric adjustable. I didn't want that because generally I don't have passengers with me. And for the few times that I do, it's quite comfortable for that. But I'm able to put it on a swivel a lot easier than if it was all the electric. It can still be done. It's a little bit more work. So I'm quite happy that I've got what I've got here for the seats. The radio, I'm happy with it. It's not the best radio in the world, nor are the speakers the best. And just as I've built my bed, the speakers are actually hidden behind the bed. So it's really not the best sound system. I was going to add some better speakers and such to it, but I really don't need them. Driving it, it's a very comfortable van to drive. I really like that. I'm really happy with how it handles. It's not as peppy as a sports car, but it doesn't feel like you're driving a van with your house behind you. So I really like that. Now, why did I go with a cargo van over a passenger van? Well, honestly, for what a passenger van gives you for doing a conversion, I didn't think that it was worth it. Yes, you do get a more finished roof, but I was going to finish my roof anyways. I don't like the extra windows because the windows are not a good insulator, and you're going to have to cover them up anyways. And for me, having the windows just wasn't a benefit, so a passenger van worked better for that. I did add a window to the van, and I'll talk about that in a future video. I really like the window that I have. I also have a screen at the back so I can open the rear doors when I'm parked somewhere, and I can have the view from there. I really like that as well. So overall, it's a really good van. One of the issues that I did have when I first bought it, I got it in the fall, early winter. First drive that I took with it in the snow, I ended up getting stuck. Even with the limited slip differential, it sucked. So one of my first things that I did to it was I went out and bought a good set of tires for it. I bought the BF Goodrich K2 tires, and I really like the tires. They are not perfect, but I have added some weight to the back of the van. I moved the battery I had put underneath the passenger seat to the rear. I also added an additional battery back there, so now I have two batteries in the back. So that extra weight, plus a couple sandbags I put in the wintertime, helps it to have a bit better traction. It's not four-wheel drive. I don't use it for off-trail, so I'm not going to tell you that it's a great off-road vehicle because to me it's not. But so far it's been really good. I do carry some gear to get me out of a situation if I should get stuck. I have a traction mat that I carry, and I carry a shovel. So I'm not relying on the van to get me out. So I do like that. With the tires, though, one of the issues I had, and it's really not a Ford issue, Ford could have made it a bit easier to fix this problem. But when I went and got the tires for the van, the dealer that sold them to me, who just happened to be a Ford dealer at the time, and they still are, and they sold me tires, put them on my vehicle, and then informed me after all that was done that they were too low of pressure to get rid of the tire pressure monitoring alarm. So I would have to drive down the road with the button on my dash. Not a big deal. I've tried to reset it. The Ford dealers tried to reset it. I've researched online. I bought the tool to reset it. I've done everything, and it just can't be reset. So if you do buy a Ford or any vehicle with a tire pressure system, make sure that the tires you put on it are going to be up to that level. On this van, the tires are 50 PSI. So I have to be able to get them up to, I think it's 65 PSI in order to get rid of the alarm. And because I can't get them up there, I have the alarm on. So it's not a big deal. The next time I switch the tires out, I know. So I'll put it on a bit heavier of a tire so I can get the pressure up there. One of the big benefits I like about this van, and as a camper van, I don't think I'd have it any other way, is I have the remote access to the side of the vehicle so I can type in my number and it will unlock the van. I love that feature, especially when I'm out in the bush. Even though I carry a spare key in my wallet, it's nice to be able to just punch in that number and to be able to get in the van when I have to get into it and know if I should lose my wallet or if I should leave my wallet in the van and lock it for some reason, that I'm able to get back into the van without any problem. So I really like that feature. Other than that, it's a pretty simple, straightforward vehicle. Like I said, it was a cargo van. It was brand new when I bought it. The reason I went with a new van was I just wanted the warranty, and I wanted to know that it was new off the lot and that I wasn't going to have to put money into it after I built it. So that's why I spent the extra to get a new vehicle. I find it very comfortable to drive. I find it's like driving a small SUV or a smaller van like a Montana or a Dodge Caravan. I find that it's very responsive. Now, at that point, I don't have a lot of weight in the back. I did a minimal build, so it's really not that it's got a lot of weight to haul. And I think that's one of the reasons I like the engine so much as well, because it's geared for being a heavier van. So it's not something that it's pulling a lot of weight. So when I do have to use to get up and go, it's not pulling a lot. So I'm quite happy with that. If there was anything that I would fix on the van or change on the van, other than being able to reprogram that tire pressure monitoring system, I think it would just be a couple small things. One being is the windshield seems to collect a lot of dirt around the side of the windshield. It's not a huge issue, but I'm afraid that if you didn't stay on top of it and you got a rock chip up there, that it would start to rust out quite easily. The other issue is, and I've not had this issue, but the way the windshield is designed, there's a catch at the bottom of the windshield that fills up with water when it's raining heavily or when the snow's melting. And I've heard a lot of people say they've had trouble with their vehicles with that water getting into the engine. So far, I've not had that issue, so I've been quite happy. One small change that I did make on the van when I did get it, because it's a cargo van, they took away one small feature which I thought was kind of weird, in that they didn't put an air filter into the circulating system for the heat. So I went and got the air filter and put that in. I did find that helped to keep the dust down a little bit in here. It was a $10 addition, and I bought actually two at the time. So I've got something so I can keep the air a little bit cleaner when I'm on the dusty roads. But other than that, it's a really good van, and I've been quite happy with it. Now, I know there are other vans out there. I know that the Dodge is a little bit wider. I know that there's some that are a little bit higher and so on and so forth. But for what I've got, I really like the van, and I've been very happy with it. So until next time, have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you soon, and get out there and enjoy nature.